The markets are shaky, food prices are climbing, and Washington seems stuck on a loop of chaos. So what happens to your money when the government hits pause again? What do you do when the systems we rely on just stop? This isn't a hypothetical. This is about what's coming next. You're watching Cultural Capital TV, where psychology, money, culture, and history meet. Because nothing is ever as simple as it looks. Today we're not just talking about the headlines. We're talking about your bank account. We're going to break down 5 practical financial moves you need to make before the next government shutdown. And let's be clear, it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. We've all just lived through the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. As of late 2025, it's cost the economy billions of dollars every single week. We've seen hundreds of thousands of federal workers furloughed, their paychecks frozen. We've seen critical benefits like SNAP, which millions of families depend on for food, get delayed or threatened. Government contractors, many of them small businesses, had their payments halted, putting them on the brink of collapse. Consumer confidence plummeted because when the government looks unstable, people get scared. And when people get scared, they stop spending and the entire economic engine starts to sputter. The news coverage focuses on the big picture, the political drama, but the real story is what happens at your kitchen table. It's the anxiety of watching your savings dwindle. It's the stress of wondering if your paycheck will arrive on time or if the social services you rely on will be there tomorrow. This isn't about panicking, this is about preparing. It's about taking back control in a situation that feels completely out of your control. We're going to turn that awareness of system instability into actionable preparation. I'm going to give you 5 concrete, affordable steps you can take, regardless of your income, to protect your money, your mindset, and your family's stability. Let's get into it. Move number 1. Build a shutdown buffer. This is your first line of defense. Now, you've probably heard financial gurus talk about having 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved in an emergency fund. That's a great goal, but for many people, especially with inflation eating away at our paychecks, it feels completely out of reach. It can be so daunting that it stops us from even starting. So let's reframe it. Instead of a mountain, let's build a wall. We're going to create a 2-week essentials buffer. Why 2 weeks? Because that's a realistic time frame to weather the initial shock of a shutdown, a delayed paycheck, or a sudden halt in government services. It gives you breathing room. Here's how you do it. Sit down and calculate your bare bones, must-pay expenses for a 14-day period. I'm talking about the absolute non-negotiables. Your rent or mortgage payment, your essential groceries, your utility bills, and the gas you need to get to work. Be brutally honest. This isn't about your Netflix subscription or your daily latte. This is about keeping the lights on and food on the table. Once you have that number, your goal is to set that exact amount aside in a separate account. This is crucial. It can't just be sitting in your regular checking account, where it's easy to accidentally spend. Open a high-yield savings account online. They're easy to set up and often have better interest rates. Label it shutdown buffer or do not touch. This psychological separation is just as important as the financial one. Every time you see that account, you're reminded that you have a plan. You've built a small fortress around your financial peace of mind. Financial resilience isn't about being rich. It's about having options when things go wrong. A 2-week buffer is your first, most powerful option. Move number 2 is to audit your auto drafts and subscriptions. This is about plugging the silent leaks in your financial boat. We live in a subscription economy. Streaming services, news apps, fitness programs, meal kits, software, subscription boxes. They all auto-draft from our accounts every month. Each one might only be $10 or $15, but together, they can add up to hundreds of dollars a month. This is money that's leaving your account on autopilot, reducing your financial flexibility without you even noticing. When a crisis hits, cash flow is king. You need to be able to direct your money where it's needed most. Those automatic payments are the opposite of control. So here's your challenge, and I want you to do this today. Log into your online banking portal or your credit card statement. Scroll through the last 30 days and highlight every single recurring payment, every single one. Then, for each one, ask yourself a tough question. If my income were cut tomorrow, would I still be paying for this? Be ruthless. Which ones can you pause or cancel, even just for the next 30 days, to free up that cash? Maybe you don't need 4 different streaming services. Maybe you can pause that gym membership you haven't used in a month. This isn't supposed to be deprivation. It's about a conscious reallocation of your resources. It's about taking the wheel back from the autopilot. The money you free up can go directly into building your shutdown buffer or stocking up on essentials. You'll be amazed at how much you can find. It's an immediate way to increase your monthly cash flow and give yourself more breathing room, which is exactly what you need when uncertainty is on the horizon. Okay, move number 3. Create an income contingency plan. This one is less about saving and more about strategy. We need to start thinking about our personal finances like a small business. A successful business never relies on just one customer or one revenue stream. It diversifies to manage risk. You need to do the same with your income. Ask yourself this question. If my primary source of income, my main job, my government contract, my freelance gig was suddenly delayed or disappeared tomorrow, what would I do? Write it down. This is your income contingency plan. What other skills do you have? Could you pick up a delivery gig for a few weeks? Could you do some freelance writing, graphic design, or consulting? Do you have a hobby that could be monetized, like selling crafts online or offering tutoring services? The goal here isn't necessarily to start a side hustle today, though that's a great idea if you can. The goal is to have a plan ready to execute. Know which apps you'd download, which websites you'd sign up for, which people in your network you'd contact. Have your resume updated. Having this plan mapped out ahead of time dramatically reduces panic. When a shock hits, you won't be starting from zero, scrambling and stressed. You'll be activating a pre-existing plan. You'll be moving from a position of strategy, not fear. Your income is your most powerful wealth-building tool. Protecting it means having backups. You are the CEO of You, Incorporated. It's time to start acting like it. This brings us to move number 4, diversify where your cash lives. This is about accessibility and liquidity. During the last shutdown, we saw how interconnected our financial systems are. A delay in federal payroll processing can create a ripple effect. If you have all your money in one single bank, you're creating a single point of failure. What if there's a system glitch? What if access is temporarily limited? This isn't about a run on the banks. It's about smart, practical diversification. The principle is simple. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. At a minimum, you should have your cash split between at least 2 different institutions. For example, keep your main checking account at a traditional brick-and-mortar bank, but open a high-yield savings account at a completely separate online bank. This gives you 2 different access points to your money. If one system has a problem, you have another option. For those who are a bit more advanced, you can also consider cash equivalents. These are highly liquid, low-risk investments like treasury bills or money market funds. They're not about chasing high returns. They're about preserving capital and ensuring you can get to it quickly. The key here is flexibility. When government systems pause, you want to be certain that you can access your own money without a problem. Spreading it out is a simple, effective way to build another layer of financial security. It's a boring move, but in a crisis, boring is beautiful. Finally, move number 5. Stock up on essentials that hold value. Now let me be very clear. This is not about extreme doomsday prepping. This is not about building a bunker. This is about smart, strategic consumerism. It's about beating inflation and supply chain disruptions on your own terms. When a shutdown or any other economic shock occurs, we often see 2 things happen. Supply chains can get disrupted, and prices for essential goods can rise. Your money buys less tomorrow than it does today. But you can hedge against this. Think about the non-perishable items your household uses every single week. I'm talking about things like toilet paper, paper towels, toothpaste, soap, laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, canned goods, pasta, rice, and coffee. These things don't go bad, and you know you're going to use them eventually. Every time you go to the store, buy 1 or 2 extra of these items. When they're on sale, stock up. Gradually build a small 1 to 2 month surplus of the things your family absolutely needs. This does 2 powerful things. First, it makes you inflation-proof. The price of that toilet paper might go up 10% next month, but you already bought it at today's price. Second, it reduces your psychological stress during a crisis. If your paycheck is delayed, you won't have to worry about running out to buy toothpaste. You've already taken care of that. You've insulated your household from immediate supply shocks and price hikes. It's a small, consistent action that builds a massive sense of security and control. You're turning your pantry into a physical savings account. So let's recap. 5 simple, powerful moves to protect yourself before the next government shutdown. 1. Build a 2-week shutdown buffer of essential expenses. 2. Audit your auto drafts and cancel the financial leaks. 3. Create an income contingency plan so you're never starting from scratch. 4. Diversify where your cash lives across at least 2 institutions. And 5. Gradually stock up on household essentials to beat inflation and reduce stress. None of these require you to be a financial genius. None of them require a massive income. They just require you to be intentional. You don't have to predict when the next crisis will hit. You just have to be ready. The world is uncertain, but your financial preparation doesn't have to be. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 moves are you going to start working on today? Let me know in the comments below. Your story and your plans can inspire someone else to take action. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe for more content on navigating our complex world. Stay prepared.